The ValueMax assessment. Begin with the end in mind. There are 7 simple truths in business. The first is that all business owners will need to one day exit the business. Second, all business entities have some value, even if it is only net assets that can be sold or transferred to someone else. Third, preparing in advance for this event will significantly increase the value that can be transferred. Fourth, preparing in advance for this event will significantly increase the probability of a successful outcome. Fifth, a business built for exit and maximum value will be a better run business that will allow you to make more profit and reduce your stress. Sixth, planning for exit means personally planning your finances and your life after plan, which will result in improved personal wealth and happiness. Seventh, and finally, the value of a business can, in some cases, be over 50% of a business owner's personal wealth. Therefore, we have a responsibility as a business owner to think carefully about this transition for the sake of ourselves, our family, and our stakeholders. Okay, it's time to take a look at the inside of what the ValueMax assessment process looks like. So basically what we're going to do is start out with a set of personal goals. Then we're going to look at your business. We're going to look at your personal readiness to exit. And then we're going to combine the two of these to give you a holistic view of what your current situation looks like. Then we're going to look at the value of your business. We're going to look at it from a couple of different perspectives. First is what the value you can expect for your business in its current state. And then we're also going to look at what it would be like in terms of if you did the work to make it into the best business it could be. Okay, first we go through setting goals. And basically what this has to do with is how much money you're going to need when you do exit, how you're going to exit, and the timing of your exit. All right, so in the business readiness assessment, we're going to basically be looking at how attractive your business is to a seller. And at the same time, we're going to look at your business model and see where your risk points are that reduce the value that you could get for your business. Our whole goal here is to get you the best price for your business that we can. And so that would mean that your business is highly attractive and highly ready for exit. So we would take that yellow dot and move it into the top right quadrant. As you can see from this screenshot, there's about 5 pages of questions that have to do with what factors would make your business most attractive and most ready to be sold. Once you've gone through all these questions, then we're in a position to do what we call a gap analysis. And so basically you're going to find that as you go through this assessment, there's things that you're doing quite well and some things that you aren't doing quite so well. And so what we want to do is fix the things that you aren't doing quite so well, because those can impact the multiple you receive for your business and ultimately the price you get. The next thing we want to look at is your personal readiness to exit your business. And so this has to do with do you have a plan for after you exit your business? Because the fact of the matter is that studies indicate that most business owners experience a severe letdown once they transition from their business because they don't have any plan for what they're going to do afterwards. And the other part of this, of course, is are you financially prepared for the transition? Most business owners have most of their assets tied up in their business, and so they count on the proceeds from selling their business to finance their retirement. And oftentimes they're very disappointed in the money that their business is worth. So here's a couple statistics for you. According to bizbuysell.com, the average business with revenues under $5 million is selling somewhere between $250,000 to $280,000. And so let's convert that into retirement dollars. So let's say, for example, you're making $100,000 a year from your business. Now, most people are taking out more than that because they're running an awful lot of personal expenses through their business, and we'll get to that at a later point in our relationship. But let's just say, theoretically, that you need $100,000 a year in retirement to maintain your current lifestyle. Um, that would take about 2.5 million in proceeds to generate that income. So if you do not have a business that's going to be worth 2.5 million and you don't have any resources already put aside for retirement, then you need to get on a plan pretty quick. Also, I would be remiss if I did not point out that just because you sell your business for 2.5 million, that doesn't mean that's what you get, especially if you haven't planned well for that transition. You can take a big tax hit that can wipe out a lot of that. So it's really important to get ahead of this and get a plan together. So just like the business assessment, we're going to go through, ask you a whole bunch of questions, and we're going to prepare a little graph, just like in the last step, where we're looking at your personal readiness and your financial readiness to understand how prepared you are to transition from your business. And just like in the last step, where you want to be, you want to move that little orange dot into the top right quadrant, where you're highly prepared and financially ready to transition to the next stage of your life. Once you've gone through the process of completing your personal and business readiness assessment, then we're in a good situation where we can understand your total readiness for exit. And so what we're doing is taking both of those little dots, and we're going to try to get them up in the top right-hand corner where you're personally ready to transition and your business is ready for transition. We're also going to end up with a series of scorecards like the one you see on your screen now, which basically go through all the questions you answered for your business assessment and your personal readiness assessment, and you're able to see where the gaps are so that you can develop a plan on how to progress to make yourself more ready for that transition at some point in the future. We're also going to be able to do a little modeling where what we do is we take your EBITDA, which is basically your net revenue, and we take that versus what the multiple range is in your industry. And then based on how ready your business is, that's going to affect how high your multiple is. And so you take your EBITDA times your multiple, and we can come up with a rough estimation of what your business would be worth. And this is where I think a lot of business owners get tripped up a bit, is that they hear their buddies sold their business for some fantastic multiple, and so they think their business is going to be worth the same as their buddy at the country club or wherever, wherever the watering hole is. The fact of the matter is there's a lot that goes into a business valuation, and most businesses are maybe a 3 to 6 times multiple of EBITDA. If you're in a real high growth, very attractive industry in a great geographic location, you may get something quite a bit higher than that. But what we do to start out is we'll take and we'll look at what your industry is. We'll look at the normal range of multiples in your industry, and then based on the results of your business assessment, we'll be able to place you within that range of values. And so that's a good starting point. As you get closer to selling your business, then we're probably going to want to get a more professional evaluation by someone that's certified to do that. But quite frankly, at this point in the game, unless you're better than way more of the business owners that we generally deal with, you don't even have the information together to do that precise of evaluation. There are other considerations here too, like if you have a business that's worth a lot, you might want to be more careful about keeping track of that valuation. If you're in a situation where you have a partner or partners, then you need to have some method that you agree on for valuing the business in case something bad happens, like If one of the partners unexpectedly dies, you should have a contingency in place, hopefully with an insurance policy that will allow the business to continue to operate with the surviving partner or partners, buy out the deceased partner with the proceeds from an insurance policy. The final part of this assessment is to do a personal gap analysis. And so basically what we want to do is take your current financial position, your projected financial position, and look at the probability that those funds will last you through your retirement. So you can either decide to lower your expectations on how you want to retire, or you can get after it and create the assets you need to live the lifestyle that you want to live. This takes us to the end of the process where we'll be able to generate a bunch of reports. We can do different scenarios for your business valuation. We can do different assumptions for how long you want to retire. We can, play with interest rates, stuff like that. And we can put it all into either a Word format or a PowerPoint format so that you can share it with your family, key stakeholders that you want to bring into the whole process, and your team of advisors like your accountant or your lawyer or anyone like that that needs to be involved in the whole process of creating a proper transition plan. And of course, we're here to help. So we hope that you'd like to take this assessment. I think it's very much worth your time and money, and we look forward to working with you. So the next step's pretty easy. Below you'll find a button that says "Let me in," and we'll get you signed up. We'll get you access to the ability to take the assessments, and we'll set you up with the time where you can meet with me. We'll go over the results of your assessment and talk a little bit about what your next step should be. And if you choose not to do this, I wish you the best of luck. I hope that at the least that you understand some of the issues that you'll face going forward and that you can benefit by planning for them. Take care.